All right, fire away.
Nick, how severe is Jalen's injury? Is his status in question at all for next week?
He came back in and played. He's tough as heck. After he got hurt, he came back in and ripped it. And so, yeah, we'll see. I haven't even talked to the trainers yet or the medical staff. So we'll see.
How do you explain that first half after what happened last week and with something still on the line?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't good enough. We didn't coach well enough. We didn't play well enough, and there's not really an explanation. We just didn't do the things we needed to do to be successful, and that starts with me.
Do you think the locker room is still with you?
Yeah, I know. I felt in that locker room that we got a lot of belief in that locker room, and we know everybody. There's a lot of teams that would want to be in our position to make in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs, and we're moving on into to Tampa Bay, and everybody's got to give everything they got this week. Myself, the coach, starting with the coaches, putting a plan together, and then everybody in that locker room. We need all players, all coaches, all staff, all hands on deck, leaving everything they got in this locker room because everybody's 0-0 going into this week.
When things have gone, do you think players still should have faith in you?
Yeah, you can ask them that as far as we're obviously we've lost 5 of our last 6. That doesn't discredit the rest of the season. You can ask them that question.
What was your messaging? Is this a game where you say flush it, or is this a game you say?
Yeah, we'll look at it just like every game. There's not every game you use as a tool to help yourself get better. And so we'll look at this game. We'll make the corrections from this game. Obviously we're all going to be pissed off after this game, but yes, you have to flush it. Yes, you have to move on. You have to flush this last month. Like I said, a lot of teams want to be in our position. Everybody's 0-0 to start this thing off. And flush this game, but also learn from it, just like you do every opportunity you get on the field.
Sure. What are you seeing in some of the issues on defense?
Your early read on AJ.
Yeah, again, haven't talked to the trainers. I know AJ was the first one to greet everybody in the locker room when we walked in. Obviously, I feel terrible. Anytime any of our players get hurt, I feel terrible. That always, it's a tough thing to have to go through an injury and to play through injury. I'm hoping that he's okay, but we'll see as the week goes.
Nick, what are you seeing in some of the issues on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, obviously today was a little bit different as far as, gave up some passing yards today, I thought, and so we'll have to obviously watch that tape, but he got out of the pocket a couple times, made it, there was some guys open on some different things. And so the issues today were a little bit different than the issues last week. Obviously we got to get it corrected fast, and go out there and play a game. Like I said, we're going to move on. We're going to watch this game, get better from this game, and move on to Tampa Bay.
You pulled Jalen and you pulled Lane and Jason before the first half was over. Obviously the game wasn't going your way, but you still had a full half to go. What would that decision?
Yeah, when we went down 24-0, I thought, that it wasn't obviously going the way we wanted it to go, and wanted to get a chance to rest some guys. Like I told you guys, we went out there to play and to try to get ourselves going, and also not knowing what was going to happen in the other game. So obviously I was doing a little bit of scoreboard watching, and I think that at that time the Dallas game was close, but our game was 3-score game, and we hadn't moved it very, very well, and they were up 24-0, and that's why I made that decision at that point.
Do you think you gave Jalen enough answers versus the blitz, knowing that Wink was going to put you up?
Obviously we didn't do well enough there. So anytime it doesn't go well enough, then that's going to be on me. And so no, the answer to that is no. We didn't do a good enough job, and that starts with me.
Which is the problem, though, the scheme, or is it the game plan for why you didn't give enough answers versus the?
Sorry.
Is it a game plan specific for this week, or is there a problem with the scheme overall that you're not giving Jalen
No,
answers?
this week that's what we, the things that we did this week obviously weren't good enough, and hats off to them. And again, like I said, that starts with me.
That switch couldn't be
confidence level.
I'll get you a second.
Inside the locker room, with the season kind of going sideways here.
Yeah, I think I just like I said to you guys earlier, the locker room, everyone looked at each other and said, "Hey, everything we got this week, and let's go. We're all 0-0. We're gonna get rid of this game. We're gonna get rid of this last month." And it wasn't too long ago that we beat Tampa up there, and let's go right now. And You know, you don't got to win all games at once. You just got to play. You know, you got to win each day, and that's what we're about to go do.
Which couldn't be flipped last week given the stakes, and this week given the discussion? What makes you think it can be flipped next week?
Because you believe in the guys in that locker room, you believe in the coaches, you believe in the players, and you know we got a lot of good players that I know will give everything they got. We got a lot of players that know what it takes to get to the top. We got a lot of guys in that locker room who know how to win playoff games. We got a lot of coaches who know how to win playoff games, and that's what makes you confident. Is that.
So how does that belief stay there from your perspective? Because you've won a lot, you've been through the stretches. What do you see now, losing 5 or 6, that keeps that belief for you?
Yeah, I mean, none of us are quitters. We all get up off the mat when we're down, and we get up and we keep going. Like when you get hit in life, when you get hit in football, you got 2 options. You can stay down, or you can get the F up. And I know this group is fighters. I know this group will get up. I know that we've all been through things in our life that we've all had to deal with shit, and we know how to get up. And that's why we're all sitting in this room. The same message that I talked to the guys about last year, you know, going into the NFC Championship game about, you know, not only are we physically tough, we're mentally tough, and thinking about all the stuff that you've been through in your life, and why you're in this seat right now. You know, there's the same message I would say right now when you're going, not only when you're won 15 games like we did that last year at that time, but also when you're on a 5-game losing streak. Because, you know, and so it's nobody's quitting on this team. Because that's the reason all these guys are in that locker room, because they know how to freaking fight. The coaches know how to freaking fight. The players know how to freaking fight. The staff know how to freaking fight. And so we'll just get up and we'll fight again, and we'll see what happens next week when we put everything we got into it. And we've been putting everything we got into it, but we're going to put everything we got up into it this week, and we'll see what happens.
Last one.
Going into it without Devontae, how much did the game plan change offensively, and possibly without AJ potentially?
Yeah, I'm not thinking about. We're obviously going to move on to Tampa. I don't know what the status is on those guys yet. We'll think about that after I talk to the trainers. But you know, things change obviously when 2 big playmakers are not on the field as far as the way you attack and the way you do different things. Listen, we didn't attack well enough as a coaching staff when AJ was on the field, and you know we got to make sure we figure out how to do that next week going into Tampa.
All right, thanks, folks.